human being in the world. I feel it has so much to offer us all. And at the heart of the restorative approach are the values, the restorative values, such as empathy and respect. And I will share a time with you where I'm really rocking those values in my classroom. But first, I'm going to tell you a story about a time where I've armoured up and disconnected. And this example is classroom-based, but any of you in the audience that has a teenager in your life might be able to relate to this scenario. It's a Thursday afternoon, and I'm tired, a little bit overwhelmed, and one of my lovely students, Lauren, comes in without her homework done. And I jump straight to the attack, giving out, and she raised her eyes to heaven. And I say, "Did you just raise your eyes to heaven?" And she says, "Yeah." And I said, "Well, we'll see about that after school at 3:30. And she said, "No, we won't, because I won't be there." And I said, "Oh, yes, you will. And if you're not there, you'll be in big trouble." I didn't quite know what the trouble was going to be, but I knew I was going to put a lot of effort and energy into finding it, And at the time, I'm the poster girl in my school for restorative practice. And I could hear this voice in my head saying, "What are you doing?" And I can't help it, I'm just on one and it escalates. The whole class is like that. I go home with a headache. And in that power struggle with Lauren, I've disconnected from my values. I am not trying to connect with Lauren and cultivate empathy. I'm not modelling respect, which isn't something you hustle for, whether you have your homework done or not. It's just a given, because we are. I wasn't promoting accountability, giving Lauren power to be part of the solution. I was just trying to punish her and make her do what I say because I say so. Where are my values there? As a teacher, I've always felt that what we know matters, but who we are matters more. And I didn't like who I was that day. I wasn't being my best self, although I was probably doing the best I could in that moment, because calm is a superpower. Brené Brown, an empathy researcher, and my very favorite TED talker of all time, by the way, maybe until tonight, but she says that calm is a practice, that it's not like we're born, you're a calm person or you're not. Calm people practice two things before they respond. Do you know what they do? They breathe and they ask questions. So the next day, Lauren comes in like this and she sits down, she's looking at me. And if I'm being totally honest, part of me is like, "Oh, it's on." And then I breathe. And I ask myself a very powerful question. And this question has been a great friend to me over the years. It's, who do I want to be in this situation? And of course, I want to be someone that models and lives my values. What's brilliant about restorative practice is that it offers a scaffold, an explicit language to breathe life into the values. So they're values in action, especially helpful in times of challenge when we can easily armour up, disconnect and miss our opportunity for empathy. So I invite Lauren to connect with me by asking and modelling these very 6 simple questions. And I say, "Look, Lauren, I just want to discuss what happened yesterday with the homework, okay?" And she says, "Yeah." And I said, "At the time, I wasn't thinking, and I went straight to the attack. And since then, I'm thinking I really could have handled that better. I'm sorry for how I spoke to you." And she said to me straight away, "Miss, you're grand, I was pure cheeky." And I said, "Look, from your perspective, what happened?" And she said, "Well, I came in, I didn't have my homework done, you went mad at me." And she said, "I was a bit cheeky." And I said, "Okay." I said, "Look, what were you thinking at the time?" And she said, "I was thinking, had I done something on you, or you didn't like me or something? I've never seen you go on like that before." And I said, "No, my mum was sick at the time." I said, "Lauren, my mum's not well, and I'm tired, and I think I just probably took it out on you, I said, "What are you thinking now?" My third question. And she said, "You were just having a bad day." I said, "I was just having a bad day." I said, "Look, fourth question, who was affected by that?" I said, "I know I was very stressed." I said, "I took it to the next class, and I was felt a bit guilty when I went home." I said, "How about you?" And she said, "Yeah, I was upset." She said, "I was a bit embarrassed." And she said, "I was kind of worried about coming here today." I said, "I'm sorry, I know." And she said, "No, I'm sorry too." And I said, "Okay, well look, what could we have done differently?" Fifth question. And she said, I said, "Look, from my perspective, I think I could have calmly said, 'Can I speak to you at the end?' I said, "How about you?" And she said, "I could have told you at the start I didn't have my homework done." I said, "Yeah." Or like, you could have done the homework. And she's like, "Oh, yeah. But we had a chat about what happened that the homework wasn't done. And our 6th question, what needs to happen next? And honestly, Lauren and I got on better since that day than ever. It was an opportunity to practice empathy.